Yo, there's no denying how effective squats are in building your lower body, but for many people, they can be frustrating and intimidating. Lack of mobility and poor form inevitably lead to back and knee pain. Here are my top 10 squat variations for beginners or advanced trainees looking for pain-free squat alternatives. You can do all these drills at home and no barbell is required. And stay tuned till the end for a special bonus exercise I guarantee you've never seen before. The wall sit provides the right mix of safety and stability to start building your squat pattern. Plus, isometrics are easy on the joints and hard on the muscles. We'll use what's called a range of motion progression, where we go from a quarter squat to a half squat to a full squat, where the thighs are parallel to the floor or the hip crease is just beneath the knee crease. I don't want you to go any lower than that. Now you can also play with where you place your feet to stress the quads or the glutes more. A more forward foot position further from the wall will create more of a vertical shin angle, and that's easier on the knees and more glute intensive. If you get your feet closer to the wall, what that does is create a more forward shin angle where the knees are more over the toes, and that'll stress your quads more. This also can be progressed by doing the two leg to a march, or just holding even one leg at a time, which is even super challenging for advanced trainees. Sometimes the best way to progress is to regress. Self-assisted squats allow you to use your arms to assist your lower body and unload them as much as possible to get pain-free range of motion and perfect form and technique. Now you can assist with a stick, pole, or PVC pipe, ice pick it into the ground and just kind of sit into it and trying to get to that good parallel thigh position and then pull back up. Another way is with a TRX suspension trainer or gymnastic string anchored into a wall or door. Facing the anchor point, start with your arms about 90-degree angles, and then again, only use as much arm assistance as needed to squat to that good depth, and then come back up. And then you can also use this to really get low and work on kind of the ass to grass mobility. The box squat auto-corrects your form and technique and takes pressure off your back and your knees. It also teaches you the very functional sit to stand in back. I love using an adjustable aerobic step with risers because I can micro progress by removing or adding a riser to make the box higher or lower. A good height, again, is about that parallel thigh position or hip crease just beneath knee crease, but if you have a lot of knee pain, go higher. You can also add a mini band, which makes you have to drive the knees out, which increases lateral hip activation and prevents that very dangerous valgus knee collapse. Goblet squats allow you to sit taller and deeper with less spinal stress due to counterbalance. Now, you want to set the weight right underneath your hips and between your legs. You're going to squat down and then pull the weight straight up the body until it's at chest level with the elbows packed tight to the ribs, and then inhale through the nose into the belly as you sink down. Ideally, the elbows will touch the insides of the legs while staying really upright. Pause for a count. Explosively exhale back up. Start with a 25 to 50 pound dumbbell with the goal of building to 100 pounds plus. Dumbbell front squats are similar to goblet squats with a slightly different holding position. This is also a much more accessible version of barbell front squatting. So take a pair of dumbbells and you want to get into kind of that shortstop or linebacker athletic position, triple bends, ankles, knees, and hips. Hand clean the weight up to shoulder level, and you can hold it like this. Some people go like this if they don't want to have to worry about stabilizing it. My favorite way is to hold it just like this. And the same concept applies in terms of sitting tall and deep and coming right back up. Now, go with two dumbbells, which allows you to go pretty heavy for more of a strength building stimulus. If you want to get more core engagement, do one arm at a time. That offset load really challenges your abdominals in a much bigger way. Heels elevated squats accomplish two main objectives. Number one, it allows people with tight ankles to squat deeper and more upright. And number two, it stresses the quads, more particularly the lower quads. Now you can set up with a pair of slant boards, weight plates, or even books, and have just the midfoot to heel elevated, or if there's a non-slip surface, you can actually put the whole foot on the slant boards in this case. And we're gonna go really slow and controlled in the beginning. So try to go 3 to 5 seconds down with just body weight, going only as low as you can without that spinal rounding happening. Pause for 1 to 2 seconds and then come back up. This can really stress your knees. I'm talking swelling, pain, so go slow and go light and build from the ground up. Split stance training increases both inner and outer hip thigh engagement, plus it makes lighter loads go a longer way. It's actually my personal favorite way to train the legs because there is such little spinal stress and it's easy to recover from. Start with a 90-degree angle in the legs. I like to start from the bottom up, stay tall, press your hands together for more core and chest stability. Inhale down, exhale up. Now, if you want to stretch your quads more, use a closer stance with a more forward knee position and keep your trunk super upright. If you want to stretch your glutes more, if you have knee pain, go with a longer stance and keep a more vertical shin, and that'll stretch the glutes and take pressure off those knees. The front foot elevated split squat elevates the front foot to extend the range of motion and increase hip flexion for more stretch in the glutes. It makes the move more hip dominant and can also take a little pressure off the lead leg knee. Use a 3 to 6 inch low box or step, or even modify with a weight plate or an encyclopedia, a big book, to get that range of motion. I also really like to take the box and use my box squat height for a higher elevation, which increases the mobility demands on both legs. The rear foot elevated split squat increases the stretch on the trail leg quads and hip flexors. It also shifts what's traditionally about a 50-50 weight distribution in normal split squat to approximately 80-20, where this leg is doing nearly all of the work, and this is more of a kickstand on a bike, adding a little bit of stability and support. Now, you can set this up a couple ways. Both have their place. One is put your toes on a low box or step, and then execute your perfect rep that way, staying as upright as you can. You can also use your box squat height and then put the top of the back foot on the mat and do it this way. There's a bigger stretch coming through as well, but make sure you don't elevate too high, because what happens then is you tend to hyperextend the back and get in a bad position. Single leg squats are the ultimate lower body test of balance, stability, mobility, and strength, but they are way too challenging for a vast majority of the population. But you can regress or modify this movement in 3 main ways. Number 1 is just doing single leg balance holds, squeezing the glute, turning your trail shoulder towards your lead leg, and then you can even add some dynamic partial single leg squats, keeping the foot flat. You can also use upper body assistance with a pole or a TRX, and start with just going back leg, knee touch, and up. The other option is use a box like you did for the box squat, but do it on one leg, and maybe go a little bit higher if you're new to this exercise, and then just slowly inhale through the nose into the belly as you sit onto the box, and then come back up. This one in particular can really bypass a lot of the mobility issues. The pistol squat is super advanced and should be reserved for people with mutant level mobility and strength. Before we get to the bonus exercise, for those of you that are new to my channel, my name is BJ Gaddour. I'm the former fitness director for the Men's Health brand, and I'm also the author of Your Body is Your Barbell. Subscribe if you're looking to burn fat, build muscle, and get mobile and never miss a video. We really appreciate your support. Now, the bonus exercise, the heels elevated sliding wall squat. This is a creation by yours truly, and in my opinion, it's the best way to foray into heels elevated squatting. I actually tried to start doing a lot of the knee over toe stuff, and my knee swelled up. I've also had a history of knee pain, 2 surgeries on each knee before I was 22, a lot of patellofemoral issues, meniscus tears, torn cartilage, you name it. So I really have to be careful with how I approach this, and so should many of you. So here's what we got. I've got my feet on the slant boards. I'm against the wall. The wall gives me stability to really be able to slide down with good form and technique, and the more upright my trunk, the more we get what we want in this exercise, which is that low quad stress, particularly the VMO muscle, which is critical for both aesthetics and knee stability. Now, here's how I want you to do this exercise. And again, don't force the range of motion. You're going to inhale through the nose into the belly for a 5 count. Stop right before you would feel any sort of strain. Then you hold your breath for 5 seconds and pause and isometrically just challenge your muscles at that end range. And then exhale back up to the top. I'm looking for 10 perfect reps here. This will really be incredible at getting into this movement without stressing the knees too much. And again, listen to your body. You never want to feel pain with this exercise. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this video next.